If you guys are anything like me, someone in your 20s who's switched on to the world of money and finance, the idea of saving and investing is probably one of the most critical and crucial things that you've been taught over your life. You have been told that the money that you save in your 20s is something that will grow for the rest of your life. If you invest at this age, it can be worth however much money down the line due to compound interest. And this is, of course, the truth. If you can invest at a young age, it's going to be beneficial and you will feel the compounding effects. It depends, of course, on what you invest in, but it can't be a bad thing to make stable and well thought out investments. With that being said, I know a lot of people, and I've actually been that guy at some points in the past, who are scared to spend any money because they're just all about saving, they're just all about investing. And whilst I don't regret the decisions that I've made, it's allowed me to have backup savings, it's allowed me to be financially responsible. There has been some times where, as a direct consequence of saving, I've missed out on some great opportunities, some great holidays abroad that we could have had a great laugh on, or some other trips. And this is the point that I want to make here. When you save to an absolute extreme extent, you miss out on a lot of the joys of just having a normal life. And I know because I've done it. And I know that a lot of you guys are afraid to spend money in your 20s, but I think it's one of the most important things you can do. In the past year, I've probably had the most interesting experience on the money front that I've had in a while. It was a time that you could perhaps call all over the place, right? Definitely quite financially volatile. But it was definitely one of the most enjoyable times that I've experienced because I got to go all over the place, do different things, see different people, and yeah, I could have done it better. Could have done it perhaps more responsibly. It was a lesson learnt. And I wouldn't recommend getting to that point ever. I've never made more money since because, of course, I saw a different view of the world. I understood why saving and investing and building wealth was so important. But a lot of you guys who are that afraid to spend money, you're missing out on a great experience. And that is the experience of your 20s. You see, the thing is, no matter what the price, no matter what the individual, who it is, nobody can buy back their youth. It's the one hand in the world that we can't control, time. We can't bend it, can't change it, as far as we're aware. And there's no amount of money that, going forwards, could get me to trade off my human experience, my youth. I know you have to work, I know that's actually some of the enjoyment sometimes, but at the same time, I know a lot of you guys who are sacrificing out on great experiences and opportunities that you will look back on with a much greater level of happiness than a couple of thousands of pounds that you saved. A lot of the time we don't even know what we're missing out on. For example, I know people who have travelled to different parts of the world or around the world and they've gone on to live a different lifestyle, a completely different lifestyle. I know people who've gone to different countries, sometimes in South Asia, sometimes other places in the world, and they've come back and said, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live like this. If they hadn't been willing to spend the money, just a couple of thousand, their life would have turned out completely different. Completely different. Even if they end up coming back in a couple of years, they've now travelled, they've experienced the world, they've done something that you can't buy. And it's funny because that investment, yes, I use the word investment, the on paper waste of money of a couple of thousand, it's changed their life. I know people who've gone on to see things and build businesses with people who they've met on days out, who have become long-term partners or good friends. And of course, money is not the thing who drives these people together, but it's the thing that facilitates these people being together. If you hadn't have been in this country at this time, would you have met this person? If you hadn't have been in this country at all, would you realise this is where you wanted to live? What is the real investment here? And also, even if it doesn't look like a huge life move, because I know sometimes we speak about these things, it sounds like big, intimidating, scary life decisions. Let's talk about more small scale things. Even just having a couple of nights out with your friends, right? Maybe you're a student, maybe you're just young and employed. Going out on a Saturday night. It can cost some money. Maybe you go to the clubs, maybe you just hang out with your friends, get some food. It can cost money, but guess what? Investment, 100% investment, is an isolated place to be in. Just grinding, working, investing, not spending. Isolating place to be. It's a place that I've been at before. It's a place that I've chosen to put myself at to build my finances quickly when I had to. But besides that, it's not a long-term sustainable plan for most people. If you're a people person, like I personally think I am, or a lot of you guys may be, it's not doable. It's not long-term doable, and even if you can do it, it's oftentimes not worth it. Like I say, the time that you have in your 20s is time that you will not get back. And yeah, I think that you should still live responsibly, you should still invest, be sensible, build an income, but a lot of you guys are that focused on it, you're missing out on all of the other opportunities that this period in life will present. The period in life where you will learn a lot of new skills, meet people, go places, see things, build your understanding of life that's going to benefit you and shape your views and understanding for the rest of your life. Is that not more beneficial, more important, more financially rewarding than having a few extra thousands saved? For some of you guys, the answer is going to be no. Some of you guys only want to spend as little as you can and just invest and save. But out of a lot of the purchases that I've made, the money that I've spent travelling to places that I didn't need to go to, things that I've seen, money that I've wasted, investments that have gone wrong, I don't regret any of it. Because especially when you're in your 20s, here's another big thing. People think, or at least make out like this is the big do or die time, right? If you don't become successful in your 20s and invest X amount by your 25 or 30, you're going to fail. Not always true. Some people make it big when they're 30, 40, 50. You don't know what trajectory it's going to take. And yes, you can do as many things as you can in your power to give yourself as good of a chance of success as you can have. That's just a common sense smart move. But I wouldn't fear any risk or some risk. I wouldn't fear spending like a lot of people do, like I have in the past. That's a life that, in my experience, leads to more unhappiness because you will not know what you're missing out on. And as small as that sounds, it's big. Because you cannot get this back. I've said this before. There's things that I've done in my 20s, and even my teenage years actually, that I wouldn't do again. Because they were stupid, right? They were financially irresponsible. They were irresponsible in general. I wouldn't do some of the things I've done before again. And I wouldn't want to. But I'm glad that I've done them once. Because that was an experience. A lot of you guys are making the huge trade-off. We talk about investments. You're missing out on your future, life, friend group, career path, location. All for saving. This is what a lot of these people who focus on money fail to acknowledge, because they're great savers. They might be great accountants or account managers or financial people, but they are oftentimes not that great in other fields. I want to be an all-rounder. I need to be, yes, good at managing the books and building a business, but I also need to be a good people person, good socializer. All these different things. And these things cost money to a degree. I've never met more people than when I was in the big cities, but it takes time and money to get there. I've never had more fun than when we went on random adventures. Money, right? Doesn't mean that the people around you are there for money, but just by nature of being in certain places, you have spent some money. Not necessarily a lot. But when you're scared to spend any, what you're saving in cash, you're oftentimes losing in experience. And no matter whether you're Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or the homeless guy in the street, you can't get your youth back. And if you ask me, knowing what I know now at just age 21, maybe I'm too young to speak about this, I don't know. There is no amount of money that I would trade off to miss out on certain experiences. Do still save, be responsible, but think about both sides of it, and think about where you're really saving money and what else you're losing at the detriment of it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.